Hello, Farpoint.
Oh, hello, Brucer. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good, good.
Do you have 5 minutes? Oh, yeah, right. I forget it. Yeah, I stream your my screen directly so you can see it here. Good. Okay, okay. We do that in another point. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I was sleeping. That's why I have a little nap. Yeah, me too. Normally I don't do that, but today was the day. Okay, uh, no, nothing special. No, I don't know what to do. Watching streams and voila, nothing more. Oh, yeah. I have to mount a web server. Yeah, I forget that. Yeah, on the home automation, have transfer all the things I have in Raspberries to one PC that's made for a server. Talking to that, okay, I'll let you stream. I will check if I have drives and everything, and I will be in the stream. Yeah, bye bye.
Hello, everybody. We don't need this picture anymore. Turn that off. Save. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Happy Friday. I still got this picture screwed up. Practice always yells at me about it not being right. I keep forgetting to do it outside of the stream. I think that's it there. Save. Alright. So today's nothing going to be too terribly exciting. No projects. I just realized that I don't have any ice, and I don't have any cherodium, and I don't have a ton of carnite. So I have a little more carnite now. I did some surface mining, but with as much jumping around as I've been doing in the capital ship, I've been eating through carnite pretty quickly. So today we have to stock up on some things. I need cherodium, which is why we're here in Zone 5 near Django's base. I need cherodium is the big one for all of the hangars that will be on the capital ship, as well as I need to put a ship hangar on Elysium to repair and refuel the surfacer. So hello, Praxis. So today's just kind of nothing terribly exciting, but stuff that has to be done. This is the part of Starbase that isn't fun to watch, but we'll get some stuff done, and hopefully I don't need to repair this thing very much. I do not have very much ice. I've got a whole 50 stacks of ice left, which is more than enough for probably what we need today. But when we go back to Zone 2, after we gather a bunch of cherodium and stuff, I need 11 stacks of ice. Might as well fill it up while we're here. So there goes 11 stacks of ice. It goes quickly. We're down to 43 stacks now, so fun, fun, fun. So that'll repair, and we'll go run around and pick some stuff up. I worked a little while longer on the capital ship last night, but really just a tiny bit. I was pretty busy last evening, so I didn't do much. I did finally fix these beams so that they can't switch anymore. They're hard to see, but these beams they can no longer switch. So we'll see if we drop any. I'm good, Praxis. I'm good. So hopefully all of my disconnection issues should completely end. I mean, the only thing that was disconnecting was the hanger, and all I had to do was force a refresh, like by main menuing or moving out of LOD range, and it would fix itself. So I had been watching, and the only thing that ever changed was those couple of beams. So I just decided I'd go ahead and fix those. And hopefully that should be that should stop the hanger from disconnecting completely. If my guess is correct, anyways, about what causes the hanger to disconnect. This looks like Carnite. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Hold on. All right. Carnite, woo! Is anybody planning anything this weekend? Anything good going on? Whoa. Oh. Not quite sure why the... Oh, back up. Script stopped. Drinking in the sunshine, hopefully. Yeah, it's nice and sunny here today, too. So I'm supposed to have a soccer game with my daughters tonight, but she's not feeling well, so we're probably going to pass on that. And I'm going to probably light the fire pit and sit outside this evening. And just enjoy the nice weather. Hello, A-Dub, by the way. Happy Friday. They didn't have any Valkite either, or Agitite. So I need to pick up some Agitite. I can't make any paint for the capital ship without Agitite. Yeah. The sun isn't an... Yeah, where I live, it doesn't... the sun doesn't shine a whole lot either. It's usually quite cloudy here. But today is kind of nice. I worked this morning a little bit on some work, and I also got outside for a little bit, started getting the garden ready, get some plants in this weekend. We should be past the threat of it freezing. Finally, usually about Mother's Day is the last threat of frost here, so if I'm ready, Mother's Day's in just a few days, so I should be able to go ahead and get plants in anytime now, and we'll be fine. Alright, so the approach is still going. There we go, there's Cherodium. I'm gonna need a whole bunch of Cherodium. I also need a bunch of Bastion. It's like I need a bunch of everything, and I just don't want to take the time to get it. But I don't have much of a choice. I have been getting Bastion from the surface of the moon, which is nice, because that's a very hands-off process. Surface mining is it's definitely an AFK process. Every time I do this, I really wish there was a light I could use to shine in there, because like Cherodium inside of a Valkite shell is hard to see. Alright, let's scoop up all that stuff and find our next rock. Alright, we're gonna just strafe to the right and go for that one. Yeah, some ships do, but just the lighting in this game in general is just terrible. Like, it doesn't shine very far. In order for those lights to work, you have to like cram them inside the asteroid. Lamps are shit, yeah. Yeah. Yep. I would assume lighting is one of the big things that causes lag in this game. Hello, Lee. Oh, I'm whipping the mouse all over the place. Stop it. Trying to get comfortable. It's not working. More Carnite. Yeah, doors. Doors would have been good. I mean, you can sort of make doors, but I wish there was just a prefab door that you could use. Instead of having to build something with sliders or hinges or YOLO. Oh, hey. We don't want to be that close. Oh, turtle mode's not on, is it? Yeah, it is. No, it's not bad, but there still should be just an inbuilt way in the game to just use a door without having to code anything. Yes, I love this ship. This is the Badger by Cerulean. Yeah, I didn't have to do anything with this ship. This is just how it was handed to me. The approach works perfectly. The mining script works perfectly. Everything, I can't complain about it at all. Oh, no, to make a door you don't have to code anything. That's just setting a value to 1 or 0, I suppose. Or, I guess you would set it to whatever the angle that you want. You know, the button on state versus the button off state. I'd love to see them just be a prefabbed part, though. Because there's a lot of people that want to make their own ships, but they do not want to have to go through that. I mean, that's easy build mode. Like, easy build mode just needs to work. Yeah, easy build mode was a great idea, and there a lot of that stuff was okay, but the implementation just didn't work out. Just didn't work out, and I imagine that'll be one of the first things that they work on when development starts again. Because it's such a problem, it needs to be one of the first things they work on. And it's part of the tutorial, which anything in a tutorial should be, well, as it is, easy build mode should be deleted, but the concept of easy build mode shouldn't. The SSC is too complicated for the average casual player. It takes too much time and effort. There needs to be a way for you to just slap something together. What, of modular ships? I don't think that, I mean, a modular ship that's stuck together in easy build mode will never be the same as a ship that's built from scratch, but you could make fully functional ships in easy build mode. Like what they have there is okay. Too far away. Oh, I forget. How's this ship looking on inventory? I'm not connected to it. That's always a joy there. Inventory. It's gonna be mostly Valkite, that's for sure. It's already full. How nice. Well, that's Terodium, so this trip we will ditch the Valkite, even though we need some of it, but I've already mined all of this. Turn the script off. Yeah, I disagree that easy build mode's a bad concept. I think it's an okay concept. It was absolutely garbage implementation. I should say absolute garbage, because that's unfair. It was not ideal. Like it needed to work before it got released. But then again, so did everything else. Hindsight's 2020. Hello, Albranium, how are you? Let's zap the rest of that rock. Just hopping in for a little bit. Well, thank you for stopping by. That ship you've been building is pretty amazing. That thing looks fantastic. Alright, let's turn this off and go to the next one. I don't know where the next one is, but we'll go down, take a peek. Oh, look right there. Alright, and approach. My back has been killing me these last couple of days. It's very difficult to sit in this chair. I have to sit perfectly upright in order to be comfortable. It's not very fun. I want to put my feet up and lean back, and that's not going to work with the way my back is today. Getting too old. I think we're going to do that one next. closer. There we go. And over here, we'll grab this one next. Approach. Where's my coffee? Oh, it's almost half gone. Come on, cherodium. Yep. Most of the time I ignore the cherodium because I'm after the quotonium or the corasium, but today I actually need it. I have to make 5 more hangar halls on the capital ship and 1 on the planet surface, so it's going to take a lot of cherodium. And Valkite, I think, is the other thing that makes a ship hangar. Alright, when this drops below 14, that should turn off. Should, there it is. Alright, now I get a little closer. I need a button that's just nudge forward. Because when I do it with the shift key, I end up coming in too far. I usually only need it to go forward a tiny bit. That's probably just about it. Let's turn the collectors off for here. I'll turn them on at the end. Grab a little over here. Alright, lasers off, collectors on. Yeah, I just realized, I guess it was yesterday, that the 3v3 tournaments over the holiday, there's an American holiday that weekend, the 27th, 28th, or whatever it is. That's what we call Memorial Day here. And I will be visiting family that day, so I don't think I will be around for the tournament. I might be for part of it, but I can almost guarantee I will be somewhere else for at least part of it, as I'll be spending time with my extended family, probably my wife's parents, for the day. It's usually the first real holiday where we get the barbecues out, and it's like the celebrating. Well, it's the Memorial Day is a holiday to remember those who have sacrificed for the protection of the country. So we remember our veterans, and those who fought and died in protection of the country. But it's often here as a bit of a drinking holiday, and that's when the barbecues really come out. So it's like the beginning of summer. It's usually right at the end of the school year. So it's when summer kind of starts. It's a fun holiday. Oh, I think we're full again. Yep, alright, let's go unload. Collectors, script. Let's back up. I'm gonna keep some of that Valkite because I know I need it. It gets used in hangar halls as well. Cherodium and Valkite are the two things in a hangar hall. I don't think I got too much there, probably a couple hundred stacks of each. But with the need to make 5 half-size hangar halls and 1 big one, probably gonna need a lot. I see a bunch more people have trickled in, so happy Friday to everybody. I hope your work week went well. Oh, there's a little bit of it. Yeah, we must be at the edge of 4 and 5, because I thought 5 had all Valkite. Oh, maybe those were Valkite. They were just showing his Agitite there for a second. So once we get what I consider as a decent amount, we will take the quick trip back to Farpoint Station and we'll go pick up ice, because I am really, really out of ice. And I need that to keep these ships going. The capital ship eats through Carnite pretty quickly. Exorium as well, but more so Carnite. I make quite a few trips back and forth to Elysium, which is a single Carnite refill tool each time. But now that the crater on Elysium that I'm mining in has Carnite, it's a little less urgent, but I didn't have any stockpiled either. So I should be able to just kick everything out. 300 Cherodium. What does that give us? Uh-oh. Let's get back out. You know what, we'll just hit the brakes and reverse way out. We'll come out the same way we went in. Yep, look at that, there was none. There was no Cherodium, so just what we get here. I think there's some on the capital ship, but I think there was enough to make a few hundred hangar hall pieces, but I don't, that's probably only enough to make 1, maybe 2. Hi Jongo. 1, maybe 2 of the small hangar halls. Certainly not what I needed. And then I need to get some more down to the surface on the moon to build that thing so I can. So the surfacer has large gens, so the only way to really refill that is to repair it. I mean, I suppose you could take it off and put it back in, but it's not designed for that. It's designed to be repaired. Hello, Damage. You know you will lose a lot of ores if you don't wait until all ores are unloaded. Nope, didn't know that. I didn't think I had to sit there. Well, we'll go back and we'll take a look and see. Hopefully I didn't lose very many. Yeah, before I unload, so there was 3, I didn't have any terodium on the ship, so just since we're close, I'm just going to run back and we'll take a peek. We'll see how many got lost. That would be disappointing. I did not know that I had to wait. We'll see what the inventory looks like. See if it picked up. There were 314 terodium in my... Yeah. Come on, go away. I see 345 terodium, 900 valkite, 471 cardite. Yeah, oh, because my cap didn't load or unhost. Well, I think it probably... I was far enough away for it to have gone to LOD, but it didn't completely unload. But I normally don't wait around for it to... Don't normally wait around for it to empty. Come on, terodium. Cootonium. I have loads and loads of cootonium. I'm getting cootonium from the surface of the moon by the bucketfuls. Oh yeah, the numbers of the terodium were already climbing before I left. I did see them going out, I just didn't wait for it to finish. Alright, I'm missing it. I'm not even pointed at it. Yeah, I usually stick around long enough just to see that the unloading is happening, but I don't wait until it's over. Ever, really. Transporting a full surface miner across the moon surface. Oh, are you taking it back to your cap ship? To another moon base. Ah. Corasium. I will take that one. I will definitely take that one. Yeah, I decided to just leave an alt on the moon surface. And once I get Brucer to teach me how to install Sandboxy, I will be able to do both accounts where I can trade it all from one account to the other, so I can leave the surfacer running on one and make runs back and forth to the capital ship with the other. Alright, turn that off. We're gonna pick a direction to strafe out of the way. And we'll go for this one. More terodium. 300 stacks isn't gonna do it. Better auto landing. Yeah, the landing works good. I have found that the landing works fine if you're above the 10-kilometer mark. Though I had to do a weird thing today. Less fuel cost. It lasts forever on fuel. I don't feel like it's there's any issues with propellant or with exorium. Less speed and drone control. Now I don't know about the drone controlled part, but the speed, the fuel cost, and the auto landing seem to work just fine. I mean, that has 1,000 crates. I don't worry about it too much as far as running out of crates. It does not feel like it's undersized. But then again, I'm only going from a moon base to a nearby crater and back, so I don't worry about too much. 1,000 crates is I don't know, it's a couple hours of mining. The Surfacer certainly does more than 8 hours of mining on one fuel load. Alright, now we're going to turn around a little bit because I think we're going into a cloud there. And we'll aim at the next asteroid back this direction. I do have a station near it. It's only a couple of kilometers. You have to be a few kilometers away from the crater. I'm as close as the game would let me put. As close as it would let me put one. Well, it's going to take you longer. You're going to fill it up before you before 8 hours is done. I just figure if I leave it for about 80 minutes, if I set the timer on it for 80 minutes, I come back and it's usually not quite full. I usually have a few. That looks like Kuatonium. It is. I don't need that. It's not quite full at 80 minutes. And then that lets me fill it up without wasting anything. So I like that part. Yeah, 1,000 crates is 80 minutes. About 85 or so, depending on, you know, how close the asteroids are getting, or the rocks are together. They're not asteroids. The crater I'm mining in right now, the rocks are right on top of each other. It's 80 minutes and you're full. Carnite. I need Cherodium more than Carnite, but I can turn all this Carnite into filler tools and not be any worse for wear. Yeah, the surfacer is certainly 100% AFK. You don't need to touch it at all. But it would fill it up in an hour and a half and then just sit there. Turn itself off after an hour and a half. Yeah, we can just delete all this Valkite now. Four ships with 1,500 crates, and if you come home from work, you only need to unload. Yeah, it'd be nice if it would fly back and unload itself, but I don't see that as being possible. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for it to return to a moon base. There's too many variables there. There's no way really to navigate. I guess you could use inertial navigation to get your way back. But if you got out of whack just a little bit, you'd catch the inside of the top side of a mountain. I think that if you wanted to just leave them AFK forever, a drill type's probably your best bet as opposed to a trench type, because then you could do it inside your own safe zone. Put a timer on it, it would just go straight down and be safe. Cootonium, I don't need cootonium. Is anything close? There we go. Yeah, I wish you could put a base inside a crater, but that's not happening. So you gotta be exposed. But I do like being able to put it outside the just outside the safe zone. Coming back later. Well, it's just more beneficial to mine in a crater than it is just out in the open. Unless if you're not on Elysium, if you're doing it on another moon, it doesn't matter, I suppose. I've just been doing it on Elysium. And that's mostly I've been doing it there because I've been getting all the ores that I want. Yeah, the main problem is the crates. Yeah. Yeah, I really wish there was a way to be able to transfer ores from one ship to another without needing the safe zone. Like just being able to connect the two ships. I don't need to do that. This is just Carnite. How in the world would you connect two ships together without the use of some sort of a safe zone? Detachable cargo crates. I guess if you just disconnected the entire thing and connected it to another ship, that seems... 5.0, that's a tiny asteroid. Yeah, it's not going to work on the surface though. Alright, A-Dub. Yeah, it seems a bit excessive to do that anyways, because it's only going to be able to go a kilometer. Like, not the drones only work within a kilometer, so there's severe limitations. Yeah, I've never messed with tractor beams, or tow beams I guess it is. Oh, if it's not a ship, it would be a tractor beam. Okay. Yep, definitely tractor beam now, because tractor beams work on things without thrusters. I did remember that eventually. And it couldn't have thrusters, otherwise you couldn't attach it to the ship. Yeah, I don't know how you would connect them to the ship if you're not there, though. You'd because you have to connect the resource bridge, do you not? This is a tiny rock. That seems like a lot of precision. One big lag spike and you're done. Plutonium, I don't need it. Next one, let's go for you. Alright, approach. Carnites. Come on, we need Cherodium. We don't need any of this crap. Cherodium's like every third rock out here. Why? It's supposed to be the most common thing out here. Struggling to find the one that I need. There we go, except it's only a little guy. That one's next. Next. Alright. Oh man. There we go. More Trodium. Still only 23 stacks. That one's next. Oh man. Alright, come on, 14 kilometers. Alright, this guy's next. Approach. Not what I'm after. Let's try this one. Carnite. Not what I'm after. I need the Terodium at this point. I can get Carnite from the moon surface, though I was shy on it. I've already picked up several hundred stacks, which will last me. It's the Terodium that I'm going to burn through right away. And I want to spend my time here on, and then I just need ice. And ice is super easy. If we go back to Farpoint Station, we're right at the edge of the ice belt. And just go pick up, you know, 5, 6, 7 T10 ice asteroids and come away with more than enough. Come on, turn off. There we go. That guy's next. And then that one. Enough. Now let's grab this one. Approach. Oh, those two are real close together. Oh, there we go. Terodium. 73 stacks. That's what we're after. That's the good stuff. That's what we're talking about. Come on. Approach faster. Got a little excited there. Ran into that one. Wrong button. I think it's just fine though. I think that's pretty much all of it. Close enough anyways. Should be another one right here somewhere. That looks like another decent sized asteroid. It's too close for easy scanning, so it's going to take a little bit to scan it. Oh, no, it didn't. It took right away. 80 terodium, another big one. I don't think I can make it go any closer. Ten and 14 are kind of the limits on the approach distances. Another 300 copies of that. We can get rid of collectors on. There should be some terodium in there. Oh yeah, there's definitely some. Probably mostly Valkite, but we didn't pick my next rock. That one there. This is the next one that catches my attention. Approach. Alright, scan soon. Terodium, another good hit. That one. Alright. This should be a good haul though. Meters, 14.5 meters, 14 meters. It should go any second now. There we go. Let's grab the rest of that. I think we're gonna go. We are gonna go park it and unload. See what we got. See, count our spoils. Oh, there's one more big rock right there. Maybe we'll look at this one. Still got 200 stacks of that. Let's take a peek at this one. It's right here. Why not? Approach. All right. Anybody have any big plans for this weekend? Carnite. I don't need Carnite. There was another one here, so hopefully this one. It's not a very big one though, is it? It's not terrible. But it's in between where we are and where we're going. Carnite again. We'll head our way back. We'll put on avoidance so we don't crash into anything. And then we just let it go. Oh, handbrake, turn that off. Now it can go. That's the avoidance. Oh. Come on. Maybe if we get some time, I'll work a little bit more on the capital ship. Or I jump back to the safe zone and get Bastion. Because I do need enough Bastion for a whole bunch of storage cores. Oh yeah, I gotta turn the avoidance off if I want to fly directly at it. What do we end up with? 278 Cherodium, 300 Carnite, 70 Corasium. Not terrible. What does that give us? Come on. There we go. That gives us 500 Cherodium. Oh, I'd like to get a little more than that. So, it's definitely climbing. We're not going to go very far. Approach that. We're still good on fuel. Come on, Cherodium. Quotonium. Don't need Quotonium. I just don't need it. I've got like 500 or 600 stacks on the moon surface. I just have to bring up. Look, there's an agitite rock. Let's go pick it up because I need some agitite. Nope, it's not agitite. That's one I've already been in, which means I've probably already looked at most of these. Need to get a little further away. That looks green. Is that Coatonium again? Looks green. What is that? Coatonium, yep. That just happens to look green and not brassy colored. Alright, we're gonna pick another random direction. We'll go a little ways. We'll stay out of the cloud though. Turn avoidance on. We'll just go this way a short distance and then work our way back. This will be the last load from here, and then we'll go get some ice, which really shouldn't be hard. Ice should only be maybe maybe one load, two. Alright, let's turn avoidance off. We're going to check these two rocks out here. See how they're looking. Approach. Oh, Cherodium. That's a good start. Approach, come on. Here we go. Now we're approaching. Oh, I see a little bit of red right there. Oop. We let it work for a minute. Do its thing. Just getting all up in this asteroid. Alright, where's the laser and collectors? Should we grab everything? Excellent. Whoop. I think I wanted this one first. Collector's off. We'll slide over here a little bit. Strafe out of the way of that first rock. And then we approach. And we wait. Rinse and repeat. Quotonium. Normally I'd be really excited to see quotonium, but since we found that Elysium crater that's got it in it, it's the most common thing in that Elysium crater is quotonium. So out of 1,000 crates, I'm usually getting about 30% quotonium. And 30% leucium, which is nice. I probably only get about 15% ymmerium, but, well, there's carnite. Not what we're after today. I think we've already scooped up 500 stacks of carnite, so that'll be alright. I don't have endless storage anymore, so gotta be a bit pickier with just storing stuff for now. Turn the damn brake off. Let's go. There we go. Approach. Next one. I always try to pick the next one before I'm done with this one. Looks like right behind it's where we're going. That's carnite. We are going to go around this one to that next one straight away. Approach. Don't break it up. Now approach. Alright, there we go. We're spot on. Dog walked, beer located, happy day. Good for you, A-Dub. It's good to make progress in a day, especially when it involves beer. It's carnite, I don't really care. Let's pick another rock, there's lots to choose from here. That one looks the right shape. Ooh, this one looks even closer. So here we go. We're changing our mind multiple times in a row, so just roll with it. Approach. Come on, I should only need a handful more. Come on, Cherodium. Be Cherodium. Carnite. F you. Don't need Carnite. I need Cherodium. Approach. You can do it. You can be Cherodium or Corasium. Wouldn't hurt. I would take Corasium. The other two are no, though. There's Cherodium. Thank you. Where's next? That one. That one's next. Nope, that one's next. I like the look of that one. That one looks like it has terodium in it. I can tell from here. No, I can't. Oh, it looks pretty good. Collect. Would we decide that one? I think I decided on this one. If I decided on a different one, I'm changing my mind because we're going to this one. Alright. Come on. This one has the look of terodium. I can feel it. It actually looks like a little rock now that I'm getting close to it. A little disappointing. Might have terodium, but it's gonna have like 6 terodium. 6.9 carnite. Double. That's a double slap in the face. Slap in both faces. Well, that looks like a T9 or 10. Check that one out, and then that one out, maybe. Quotonium. Nope. Approach. Alright, come on. Come on, scan. Carnite. Bull. Top. Check out that one next. Come on. Give me what I want, what I really, really want. Come on, I want the most common one. I'm not even asking for the rare ones. Terodium, thank you. Alright, we'll check out this one next. Though I think we're probably got a decent amount for the project at hand. It's never gonna have enough. I'll always need more, but this should be a decent project at hand. If this one would terodium, that'd be the best. It's not, it's Kuatonium. Not the best. Approach. Carnite, awesome. Come on. What's close? Alright, that one there is where we're going. Why? Because it's the one that my eyes locked onto. Simple as that. Nothing, no real genius in this. Just whichever one catches my attention is the one I go to. Always probably better ones around. Yeah, remember the days when Carnite was a thing? Yeah. Well, and I needed Carnite, but I've already gotten 500 stacks of it today, and the big need is Cherodium at this point. Come on, Quotonium? I mean, that's a much better... It's a much more valuable thing, but it's not what I need. I have only found one Corasium though, and that's crazy. Well, as much time as I spend fast traveling the capital ship from place to place, I go through a lot of Carnite. Cherodium, there we go. Yeah, I burned through a lot of Carnite hopping around. You found a Zalium crater? Yeah, the crater I'm currently in has Zalium, Lucium, Yimrium, Carnite, and Quotonium all in one crater. I'm super happy with it. I couldn't tell you which crater it was though, because Dirty Human found it, not me. He just gave me a chip for it, and I put a base up next to it. Alright, collectors off, script off. Let that all calm down for a second. We'll just turn the lasers on. We'll do a little breaking up what's left here. I figure what'll end up happening is I'll keep milking that crater as long as I can. Sell off the extra Zalium and Quotonium. The other stuff I can all use in large quantities. There's no reason I'll ever need. I think I already have nearly 1,000 stacks of Zalium. There's no way I'll need more than that, like in my entire Starbase career. Alright, we're gonna head back. I think we're gonna call that good. Let's see if I can figure out where my ship is. Down there. We were close. Alright, we turn avoidance on. We point in the general direction of the ship and we go. And then if I just mine the surface of Elysium, I get kind of the more common stuff I was getting. Bastion. What was I getting? Bastion, Vocarium, Nergite, just kind of the normal stuff. There was some yumrium coming out of that. Oh, and I was getting a little tiny bit of arcanium just from the regular surface of the moon. But you just put a pic in the Discord? Yeah, the game can be beautiful. Give me a second. Once we get back to the capital ship here, we'll bring up that picture. It can be a very pretty game. I think I was getting arcanium from the surface of Suti, the moon, the sub-moon Suti. But I don't think I wasn't getting ymmerium. I was getting like leucium and arcanium were the big ones. I might have been getting terodium there too. Come on. Oh. Hurry up. I guess I am in turtle. I'm in turtle with a full load of, nearly full load of ore. So it's gonna be a little bit slow. Come on, ship. You should be showing up any minute now. Oh, I think I can sort of see an outline. There it is. There it is. Oh, we're coming from the top. Or the bottom. That looks like the bottom. Oh, we gotta turn the avoidance on and it'll never let us in. Off. We gotta turn the avoidance off. Inventory. Let's see what we got this time. 279 more terodium. Turn off the inventory. Come on. There we go. Now we can store the ship. That should give us nearly 900 terodium total. Whoa. I eventually did fix these beams that I've been complaining about for a week now. About they were beam switching because I was being lazy, but I made them so they can't beam switch now, so that should be the end of the... That should be the end of the hangar disconnecting. Alright, let's take a look at your picture. Open in browser. Yep. That can be very pretty. Oh, that's a bugger. Yep, it's a pretty game. Alright, let's see. Morning mining. So that's Django's chip is in our inventory now. Let's look up, we need That's Yimrium Station, Origin, blank. That's the first. I got. That's not it. That's not the one I want. I don't want the stopover. Come on. It's that one. The very last one, of course. Oh, apparently I didn't get it. What? Oh, I know what the problem is. Is it still moving? It's still moving. We'll have to wait for the inventory to catch up. It's the 1,500 stacks of Valkite that are the problem. Is that everything? Now let's see if it's... Now let's look at the chips again. And the last one here, that one. Now it's here. Everything is passed. We crank this to the 9s, literally. And now we wait 4 whole minutes. It's like 239 seconds. It says 3 minutes, but it's really 4. It should have a second hand, like a second category. It should say 0 hours, 3 minutes, 59 seconds. But it does not. So now we must wait. I still have lots of little decorations that have to be done here. I have to finish the plating in the back. I've just been working so much on the other ship that this one's been kind of neglected. I would like to finish it. Come on. This 4 minutes takes a year. So what does that put us at? 792 Carnite. I got 484 Exorium. 872 Cherodium. Way too much Valkite, but it is what it is. I don't need anywhere near that much. And I have a load of stuff at the big cap already. Tried to have a little bit of everything over there. I need to get some Agitite, which I've got it here. I just got to take it over to make paint. That's I had everything else that was necessary. I did not have the Agitite to make paint. I always put a 0 there. Don't push enter until it's charged, but this is my kind of method for not wasting Exorium. Is I don't start the journey until I've turned off the generators, because otherwise I will forget them and they will just sit there on. And it's not like it's the end of the world if you let the generators burn up all your Exorium, because I only ever put one filler tool in it at a time. So at most I'm losing, you know, part of one filler tool, but I've just tried to make habit out of turning it off right away. My ears are all hot today for whatever reason. My headset's making my ears all sweaty and gross. I know you wanted to hear that. Come on. 87%. 90%. It goes pretty fast. I'd love to squeeze in another maybe Exorium processing unit. I think that'll make it go faster. A-Dub, doesn't yours have like 3 processing units or something and it charges in 3 minutes instead of 4? Oh, hit enter. That'll turn everything off and hit start journey. Now we only have to go 250 kilometers, so it's gonna go real fast. 336 kilometers. At 11 kilometers a second. It's not very far. Three processors, 3 tanks, 6 gens. And yours says, does yours say 3 minutes or does it say 2 minutes? So what am I gonna do here? So 4 in reality. Yeah, I think it's that. I think that third processing unit on yours isn't doing anything. I don't think if you could probably take it off and not change any of your times, because I think it's a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 generators per processing unit. I need to take over some Carnite, so what I'll do is I'll take over like 50 stacks of Carnite, maybe 100 stacks of Carnite. Yeah, we'll do 100 stacks of Carnite. F inventory, not Carnite. Agitite. We'll take over 100 stacks of Agitite and 500 Cherodium. I don't care about the number. Cherodium. I'll take 500 stacks of Cherodium over to the big ship. There's Mazda's ship there. Now, where is the big capital? It's usually these two. My two are usually right crammed on top of one another. Yep, there it is. There she blows. We'll aim here for the back, because all we have to do is ditch. Ding dong ditch. So that I can start building, oh, I needed, I was gonna call it Vagitite, but that's not a thing. Oh, there's already some over there. A little bit anyways. How much? 284. Oh, that was because I need like a ridiculous amount. Did I leave before I get transferred? What the hell? Alright, what is going on here? Something's happening with the inventory. Oh, okay. Penellium, Vagitite, and Penellium. Is there something going on here that I'm not seeing? It wants me to delete these. Oh, I wonder if my inventory's full. Yeah, it probably is. What do I have over here that I don't need a bajillion of? Yeah. That's what I'm... Just occurred to me that it's full. we'll transfer these over there, and we'll transfer all the agitite to the station, and whatever terodium it can take, and that'll be it. Transfer all the ore to the station, and then we have to wait for it to catch up. Hi, Dirty, by the way. We'll move some of this stuff back. They're both full. It's a problem. We'll buy ourselves a little bit of space here. Where's my station? We'll take some stuff to the station. Farpoint station. We'll take some stuff over to the station. This is why I need those stupid storage cores. Inventory. Let's see if watch this be full as well. Ah, looks like it was okay. I hate the partial stacks that don't go. I also dislike that the stuff doesn't propagate to the top. That's good stuff, Django. I can't make it to Magellan yet. I need to add more tanks. It's too far. Alright, now for... There's a little bit of ice here. Not much really. We're gonna let the inventory catch up. Magellan is for getting Zallium though, right? That's the reason you go to Magellan, is for AFK farming credits. Alright. Looks like it's not quite caught up yet. Arcanium's still climbing. You shrunk it down? I'm gonna do one thing before we get very far. I hit the brakes here. I'm gonna do a main menu real quick. For whatever reason, my FPS is awful. It seems to have to do with the longer it takes to upload. It's like it's holding something in memory. When I do a bunch of inventory swaps, it gets slower and slower and slower. You just mined yourself again. Alright, where's... It kept locking up when you were near the thrusters. Where's Django's station? Xenon's station and Django should be this direction. That means I should be able to go this way and find ice. If I go toward Django, that's zone 5. I wonder why being near the thrusters would cause your game to lock up. Were you doing something in particular near the thrusters, or just being near them? I have to forget with Cerulean though. Like I don't know why cruise doesn't work when the avoidance is on. When the auto avoid is on, even walking or running it locked up. I'd be interested to see if it happened to somebody else, like if Dirty or I ran by it, if it would lock our game up. Or if it was, you know, if it's something local to you, or is it the ship itself? Was it, I wonder if it was just yesterday, if there were server issues yesterday. I don't know. These are all just speculations. Turtle adjust. We're gonna turn turtle up here a little bit. Turn turtle back on. Now I can hold it down. Goes fast. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have any issues with really lag when I was putting down all those walkways. I mean, I had a little bit, but I mean, nothing that I would have main menued for. What class was yours, Jongo? Did you get it up above class 1? Now we're into some ice. Look at this. We were right at the border. Very little ice, almost all ice. We're actually after the ice, so the contents of the asteroid matter very little right now. Nope, still class 1. Yeah, that's a tough, that 5 million kilovoxels is tough to hit. Oh yeah, we should just use the approach instead. Magnesium. I don't need what's in these at all. Yeah, I'm not sure what it takes to get to 5 million, especially using thin plates. 26 zones, so you're still in the bottom. You're in the last couple sections of the bottom. That should drop. We should better pick this up. Don't really care about the Agesium. I haven't seen him in probably a week or so. Might be on holiday. We're coming into holiday season. turn the lag producers on. I want the ice. Turn those off. I think my ship will hold 420,000 and I can't go there, so. It's more than that. Nergite, don't need Nergite at all. In a minute exactly. Kind of blew all the pieces away when I got too close there. Made a bit of a dog's dinner out of this one. Alright. I'm not getting every crumb off this one. I made too big of a mess. We're gonna cut our losses here in a minute. Next. Not like there's not more of them around. Oh, let's see. Next. I mean, I'm getting probably 175 stacks out of each one of these, so it shouldn't be too long before I have several hundred stacks. Which will last a little while. Not forever, that's for sure, at the rate that I go through it. Every time you have to fuel something, you burn another... Well, this thing takes, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 stacks every time it's empty. Not that I ever actually get it all the way empty, but... It's easily 20 stacks even when it's only a little bit empty. Script off. Just solid on. Alright, next. There's a nice close one. Nice close one. There we go. There we go, there we go. 466,092. Yep, that's why it's too far. I would need some sort of a midpoint in order to make that distance. It's going to be like 6, probably. At least 5, probably 6. If they're what, 50,000 a piece? So 6. What are we getting here? Nergite. I'm gonna have to take stuff back to Arma or Origin and sell it. I think for Arma I'll have to take it. I'll have to jump out to Elysium and then take Ark's ship and make a chip for over there somewhere. I don't have an Arma nav chip, so that'll be a trip. That should be pretty fun. Oh, big asteroid. Big. She's got a big asteroid. Barricaded by who? Pirates? I don't think anywhere is really affected by pirates at this point. Yeah, there's nothing left of Biohazard. I mean, they're technically still around, but I don't think anybody actually does any real PvP at this point. Be nice if they still did. We need some of that. Alright, let's turn the script off, just turn the laser on. Now I should be able to cut through these pretty easy. Yep, good enough. Yeah, I've not been to Arma either. I just know you get better prices there. So, I should at least have a chip to get there and dump stuff off. Let's see, how many stacks we got? 500, not enough. I want at least one full load of ice, which is 900 stacks. Which means I gotta delete the rest of the stuff, which always hurts me a little bit, but that's what I need at this point. I can't even store the extra stuff. 105,000 per filler tool. Oh. Oh yeah, I guess that's about right. So 5. You need 5. because you can't put a half a filler tool in, and you need more than 4. So yeah, so I can do 420,000 in mine. That makes sense. So I'm almost there. I just can't quite go far enough. I need a 5th tank. And I don't know about seal. How far is seal? Is it under 630? Because that would be 6 tanks. Inventory. We're going to delete all this Nergite. And all this Egesium. I can't keep it anyways. Probably can't even fit all this ice, but I need to. Oh, that's just 5. I could like probably temporarily put in a 5th propellant tank. It doesn't look very good, but there's some places I could cram it in there. Make it work. Just put it in there when I want to make those long trips. The only other option is to find someplace in the middle and not worry about it. If I can find a stopover someplace in the middle, then... Alright. We're gonna head back. Oh, we're gonna get this one first, and then we'll head back. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go take a look at Vega's capital ship and look around at his beaming just to get an idea if it's possible to fix it. Because his capital ship has the craziest beaming that I've seen so far. Mostly because of the shape. But I think there's ways, there's got to be ways around that. Come on, faster. I don't like them banging around in there. Let's minimize the banging around of ice in the propellant room of the ship. Oh, we can go take a look at the Saratoga too. You haven't seen Sasquatch's ship. Sasquatch has 3 capital ships. The El Dorado, which he's been posting pictures on the Discord. The Saratoga. And... I don't remember what the name of the third one is. It looks like a Romulan warbird from Star Trek. Saratoga is a big ship. You'll have to see it. The Shrike at the bottom there is, that's Vega's ship. So we're going to dump this stuff off in the capital ship. And then we'll run down to the Shrike. And take a look at it. And then we'll run up to the Saratoga. Actually, we'll go up to the Saratoga first so you guys can see it. He's talking about taking it down, but it's enormous. 8,400 meters, so just give me a minute. 211 stacks of Carnite for 6 tanks. Whew. Carnite goes so fast jumping around. That's one of the reasons why I like this new crater that Dirty Human found, is because it has Carnite in it and we can pick that up as a byproduct of surface mining. That's a lot of asteroids. Alright, come on, a little bit. You probably could have jumped out in the time that... I don't think jumping out changes anything. It's when you land, and I don't think you'll be anywhere near me first. But yeah, you can go anytime you want, Django. I'm far enough away. I'm 6 kilometers from you. Even at the closest, I won't even be 2. So you can go whenever. Stacks of boredom. Well, would you say it was 2 hours 39 minutes? You just do it overnight. I just had one of those. Ooh, I should have used the new blade. Yeah, I'm not one that does the whole clean shaving thing. I always just use a beard trimmer. Keep it cut short, but look how big that thing is. Oh, that does look pretty badass straight on. Oh, I can't wait till we start getting that done. Turn the avoidance off. Go around this side of that little asteroid. The Steinworms. His ships are pretty awesome. I do have to admit, his ships are pretty awesome. Inventory. Transfer all of it. Including this one. Alright, now we wait. Did it go? What's it counting up? Safe zone, go away. Oh, there it goes. Now the ice is going up. Alright, let's go look at the Saratoga. Actually, I'm gonna wait. Now that I've done this, now that damage has said something about the stuff disappearing, now I'm all paranoid that I'm gonna go too far away and it's gonna be all gone. Saratoga's just on the other side there. It's like a mini. It's a ring miner, Django? Did you ever get your World Eater to work? Ice is still climbing. Sorry for the wait. Alright, it looks like I got 575 Bastion, but I think I need like 800 or something Bastion per storage core. I suppose I could look, but we're gonna go over and see the Saratoga here. Alright, I'm trusting it.
High fire point.
Hey Django, you're very quiet.
Gosh, is that better?
We can barely hear you, that's all.
Oh, that's strange.
Let me turn. I've got you cranked up pretty. Can you guys hear Django, or is it just me? Could be just me. How are you doing today, Django? Oh, he's quiet here too. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
You gotta stick that microphone like all the way in your mouth.
That's it. That's better. That's better. Yeah, right. Obviously, I used the Surface Air today, which I was pleased with.
Yeah, it's hard not to be pleased with that ship. It works so well.
Oh, and it's can't wait to just make a few more credits at Magellan.
Yeah, is that
But
the easiest way to make credits? Is just to go out there and turn the surfacer on?
It is, yeah.
What do you make like on a trip like that?
If you go to Armour,
Yep.
for 1,000 stacks, you'll be looking at just under 18 million.
Oh, that's not so bad. Alright. So there is Sasquatches. Don't forget to turn on the ground protection like I did.
I won't. I was careful with it.
So there is Sasquatch's capital ship, one of them. This one's called the Saratoga. He's got two hangar halls, one on each side that sticks out like this. Let's see if we can get in here a little bit. It's a pretty neat ship. It's very much just a shell, but it's a really interesting ship.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's still working on it.
Now, with the World Eater needs a complete strip down. There is no room to put heat sinks on it. The gens are crammed into little cracks all the way around the hull.
Oh yeah.
So the ship, it needs a complete strip down and rebuild.
That's crazy. And do you have a blueprint for it, or do you have the ship itself?
No, you have to buy the ship itself from
Oh, I gotcha.
Rondo 8.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha.
It's a lot of work. It is. I mean, I put over 100 heat sinks on it and extra gills, and I still couldn't get it to cool down. So it's I just thought there's no room. I just cannot put any more heat sinks in.
This is what I wanted to show you guys that Sasquatch did. That
Oh my
so he's
gosh.
got this big map, if you can see the screen, of the. Let me straighten myself. He's got this big galaxy
Ooh.
map, and then next to it, this
That's
is
for
where.
sale.
Hmm.
Sorry. That's for sale on the SSC for 5 million.
Yeah. Yep. And then he's got this list next to it where he sticks his chips. So he hangs the chips up on there. I think that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Isn't that genius?
That is.
So you don't
I
have to
want one.
constantly keep track of them?
Because it is a nightmare going through your inventory.
Oh, it's
trying to
terrible.
find
It's
the
absolutely
good one.
terrible. It's awful, awful, awful. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys this if you hadn't seen this already. This is what it looks like in person. I think Pepe has one of these, and he just sticks his chips like right on the map. He doesn't have the list, he just sticks them on this thing.
I think he does actually.
I think you can get that on the sbcreators.org, or you can probably just Discord Sasquatch. But that thing, I love this thing.
Oh, totally. I'm gonna get one.
It's huge.
I've seen. I have seen it in the SSC, Devson, for about 5 million.
Yeah, he does. That Sasquatch sells those. And then he's got he's got 3 hanger halls here. 1 full-size hanger hall, and then 2 little ones. There's a little one over there and a little one over there. This is a really interesting ship. It's mostly hollow, I think.
Oh, I like.
Oh, I
like
hadn't
this.
thought about that. I like looking at people's ships just to find little tips and tricks that I don't think about.
Oh man.
It's a really interesting ship. It's if you get under here, it's hollow though. It's just a shell. Here, we'll sneak down
Very
through
similar
into
to
these.
what
See how it's
very
just
similar
a.
to what I'm doing. Oh, gosh.
There's no floor in it. It's just a big open space in here.
Ah.
Saves on weight and.
Gosh. You're only using one level.
Yeah, this is only the bottom. I'm not sure he even has the top unlocked. It's only this. I think he only uses the 9. This uses 6 or 7 long. Only a single wide, and the only thing that sticks out left and right are the 2 little cap hanger halls. I've probably got build. Do I have? No, I don't have build permissions here. Look how he framed in his hanger hall. Looks really nice. Framed in like that. Then we'll get back here to the thrusters and.
How many thrusters has he got for that?
Looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, so 18 if he's got, yep, 18. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yep, that's a lot. And then he's got like another little cockpit area up here where you can control. Let's see. I was trying to see if it said how fast he goes. So he's at 88% volume with 18 thrusters. So it's heavy. And then all of his production is down here.
What's the total voxel on it then? It must be about 80,000 or something.
Yeah, 80 million I think is what it said, something like that. 80 million is his max, so he's sitting at 70. It's a big one. That is a big ship. Yeah, I said the same thing. He says he's never lost any. But I wouldn't mind if I had a couple of backups of everything. Like, keep excess chips in my inventory. Or on an alt's inventory or something. Because just, it's terrible trying to get through all the chips. But he says he's not lost any.
Because that's, I'm a bit dubious because I took your idea, Firepoint, and I produced endo kits and put them beside the reconstruction machine.
Yep.
And I lost them all.
I haven't lost any.
They all disappeared.
Yeah, I haven't lost any of those. You've
Yeah,
lost
I'm
more
not
than
doing that.
20 chips? I wonder what causes stuff to vanish like that. Because like with the endo kits, I've not lost a single endo kit. Now where are we going? We're gonna try and find the Shrike.
What I've discovered, Firepoint, is that even when your cap is just sitting there, depending on how you're moving around, it's constantly respawning the cap.
Well, yeah, every time it drops out of LOD and back. Yep.
Even if you're on it, I've found, and you're just walking around, it's constantly respawning it. And that's when I found I was getting a locking up because it was having issues somewhere along the line. With it, I had to take the tower down 9 times because it just kept giving me framing issues, and so I've had to simplify it now completely. So it just drove me nuts in the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that like when I'm around the big capital ship, I don't have any lockup issues, but I will have a lot of LOD issues if you're at the intersections that have 8, all 8 zones come together at one corner. It will have a lot of LODing at those corners. You have to be in the right build zone in order to work, because it doesn't always load everything around you. You can only load 5 at most. And you're at the intersection of 8 different zones. So here is Vegas. So let's see. Let's try not to crash into it. I love the wings on this. He's had now on this ship. He's had. I don't think I don't have build permission, so I can't do anything. I thought I did. That's all right. But he's had the frame bypass put in. It looks really neat. I like these angles, but I imagine there's some framing problems somewhere.
Can you actually do that then? Can you get Kai to bypass it?
Uh-huh. Yep, he'll do that. And it'll always show that there's an error, but it'll let you jump anyways. So.
Interesting.
But I think I think this one's gonna be. We could fix this. I'd have to take a look at yours. You just left though. But
No, I haven't gone yet.
all right. Well, let's take a peek.
Now, let me just cancel the charge. I think.
Well, you don't even have to cancel the charge. It stays for 48 hours. Stay away from the button.
Oh, that's true.
Yep. You don't have to waste it.
Yeah.
I gotta find the brass beehive. Yep. Just let it charge up and then turn your generators off.
So I'm using a ton of Exorium now. It's weird.
Why would you use ton of Exorium? Doesn't it use the same amount of Exorium every time?
That's what Oh no. Oh, I did turn it off. Oh, it turned itself off. It's run out of Exorium again.
I only ever put one. I only ever put one thing of Exorium in it at a time.
I've had to disconnect again.
Yeah, let me come take a peek at it.
Thing.
You're still getting disconnects?
Yeah, it's not bad now. It's by the thrusters. I get one thruster, and either the fast travel or the shield generate a disconnect.
Oh, this would be a perfect experiment.
It's so I've
Every
tried
time I
to.
come over, it looks totally different.
It's smaller now. I've been trying to.
Oh, you're not
Just
allowed
the-
to use the term three-way, apparently, Death Sun. The chat bot just cut off his message because it used the term three-way. Wow. I thought that's funny. Alright, let's take a peek. Alright, now on yours, I do have build permissions. Yeah, it's totally different
do,
from
yeah.
last time.
You can see the shape I'm trying to build.
Yep, I see it. Let's take a peek. Oh, so many beams.
I've been trying to reduce it.
That's a lot of beams. Alright, so the fast trap, and which one of the thrusters?
This
Is
one
it
here.
is it the same one every time?
Yes, it will be this unit here.
This one here?
Either this thruster, be this thruster or the one next to it that goes.
And then one of these things. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's
Oh,
anything
no.
different on those thrusters.
It's not like before. I had to move the tanks out of this zone completely because of the disconnect. They're now in zone 4.
Oh, I'm doing weird stuff. I'm sticking to the ceiling now. Alright. So many beams. What did he say? He said now new cap framing is going to be very simple. How do you do my three-way intersections? I'm taking... Hold on, my wife just texted me. Alright, three-way intersections. You mean like a T kind of intersection, Death Sun? Dirty? Everyone would be called? Trying to fix the guy. It takes like 10 minutes to fix your eyes. So you only see what you want to see.
Actually, nothing's disconnected. What is going on here?
The easiest way to tell if it's disconnected is all your thrusters are connected. You have 6 now, or how many is this?
Yeah, nothing's disconnected.
Just
Sounds
curious.
very-
So a three-way intersection. I'm trying to look and see what he's got that we can. You're talking like a T intersection, correct? Trying to look at some of his to find a T. Like I mean, it's currently all good. Just curious. Yeah, T. Well, it depends which way. If it was like this, I would make sure that there was either a 2 or a 4 on the long way, so that you couldn't. Just make sure there's not a 1 underneath it is usually the biggest thing. And then I would put a 1 here. Just, I guess it's really, this whole process is very hard to explain. I don't even know how to explain it to you. You just want a T, but you have to make it so they can't switch. So you do not want a single one. One of the lines is going to go all the way through, I guess is what I'm getting at. You want one of the lines to go all the way through, and you want to make sure that there's no possible way, so you don't want a single one here in the middle under any circumstances.
What I'm doing, Farpight, if I get to something like this and there's only a space for a 1, I'll then take out the 4 and then put the 1 back, and then put a couple of 2s in,
All right.
just to get it to recognize it.
So let me see. So you got thrusters that just a single thruster disconnects though.
Yes, yeah, every time. We have this machine here on this side.
On that side,
Yep.
disconnects.
And normally it's the shield generator and this thruster.
Yeah, this. We have a like, I don't have any. What is where's the integrity score? 78%. It's not terrible. There's a lot of beams that don't have any green lines in them, but I don't think that's your issue. That's gonna hurt your integrity score, but like I see this beam and this beam here. Where are you at, Django? Can you come up here? I gave you back all your beams, but if so this beam here does not have a green line on it, this one.
Right, let's have a look.
See, there's no green line on this guy. So you're going to want to replace it with probably, let me look on either end. Just 2 2s is probably your best bet.
Right, okay, I can do that now.
That should at least get you a line. And do the same thing on this one over here.
Right, okay.
And that one's at least got a line. I'm trying to make sure the front and the back are connected to each other. And we're connected all the way through. So what you want to do is look for like places where there are no lines. Here we go, here's another one. No line on this guy under the window here.
Right, okay. This one...
Well, I don't think that one even needs to be there, but... Well, I'm trying to... So what you want to make sure is there's connections. Oh, yeah. None of these have connections. See, none of this row is connected. So there's none of these single 2x have any green lines in this whole row here.
I only put these in to support the plates.
Oh, I gotcha. But they're the only thing connecting. There's nothing connecting. If you took all those out, there would be nothing connecting the end thing here, which I guess just not connected. I don't know if that matters. Well, yeah, it would, because your hanger is there. Does your hanger disconnect?
No, I've had no disconnects on the hanger at all.
Wow. That's pretty incredible, actually. Oh, I guess there's some in the top here. You're okay. There's some in the top here, even without those. You've got this.
I can take these out then.
Well, I mean, if they're there for your plates, you got to have them.
Yeah, because otherwise they turn red.
Yeah, otherwise they turn red. Yeah, you've got this central ribbon here that goes the whole length. Are there any breaks in it?
And what I'm doing here is I've had to treat each zone as a separate entity. So you'll notice that when I come to a new zone, I've got beams either side.
Yeah. It's the frames don't. I can't tell if it thinks the frames go through or not. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't. They cut off at the.
Oh yeah, they definitely cut off at the edge, but I don't know if it. So here's what I don't know. I don't know if it's only because we can't see. We can only see the framing in one zone at a time. Like the game might recognize it going it straight through. But we can only see one zone at a time, so it would cut it off.
Yeah.
So I don't.
If you look where I am, this is what I've done. This is the way I got around it. Is just down here. Is because I noticed that when I put a 4 went through, it refused to recognize the beam in the new zone. because it wouldn't pick it up. So basically, I had to remove that and literally zone it each side of the divide. That's
Like-
the only way I could get it to identify the beams.
Let's see.
Like just here.
Oh, it sees them. So it does cross the boundary. It certainly is seeing it. It's crossing the boundary. If you look in, if you get it so the lines show up on this side, like come into this zone, and you look through the boundary, it's one block. It is seeing it in the next zone.
Right.
So it's not splitting on the boundary. It's splitting one block in the boundary. That's weird.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, are you seeing the same thing where it's the white box goes into the next zone?
I am, yes. Yeah.
But
And
the-
instead of it going much further, it's stopping as if it's a 2.
No, that's the center. That's the center of a 4
right,
by
gotcha.
beam, is the center is here.
Right, got you.
If you were to put a 2 and then a 1 and then a 1, it would drag it to the end, but I'm not sure that makes a difference. I didn't know that it would go across a boundary like that. See, that's what I don't know how the game treats beams across boundaries. I know the green line will stop, but I don't know if that's because we're only able to see, because you know it's only depicting one zone at a time for us.
Yes, yeah.
So let's see,
got
these
a-
all look good.
I think the way it's working as well is it's like it will make your whole capture, but it knows what's in each zone. It doesn't need to draw them. It's up there in reserve in memory, and as you go towards it, it has to then draw those. Nothing. That's where if the beams aren't correct, that's where it starts to get issues.
Yeah, I have no
It's
idea.
trying to link up. That's the impression I'm sort of getting.
I do not know. I mean, it all looks pretty good.
So I had to move the prop tanks here because these were disconnecting in that other zone.
Yeah, I don't know. It would. I'd have to dork around with it. It would take hours. You know, it's one of those things like you have to. I could stare at this for hours. This zone it's just all straight through, so that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You get some weirdness at the connections.
It is weird.
I'd have to log in and out. What I did is any place that was that gave me problems, I just stood above it and I logged in and out over and over to see what changed, if anything changed. So like, let me see if I can find where's your thrusters that are disconnecting. Yeah, the front of the ship has a lot of beams. It's very hard to see just because of how complex the design is. All right, let's find your thrusters. That's them there. They look pretty good.
But what
Okay.
I'm thinking of doing is separating these and spreading them out into the adjacent zones. You've got 4 each side. To see if that helps.
If it's always so this disconnecting, I think I'm gonna do this a couple times. So what I'm looking at is, do you got any windows here? Yeah. Let's look against some windows. I'm looking his shield generator. See that this is a vertical line, and a side line, and then there's no line there. This is where his shield generator and fast travel core are. I want to see if when those re-render, if they do it different, you know, if they change things up. Now on my capital ship is much smaller, the little one anyways, and I just kept doing this over and over again until I got every place that would switch. I see that's the same. I'm not going to do it for an hour, but Get the point. Let me look down in there and see if there's any way for those beams to switch. My only thing is I'm guessing there's a beam there switching. That's disconnecting. Now your reconstruction machine stays connected too?
Yeah, no disconnects at all.
How do we get down? Here's a down. Alright, so let's look at beams here. There's nowhere for that to switch. Oh, is that a single? Okay. I think I found where it can switch. Yeah. So you have a single one here on a corner. And it can go either way.
Right.
So if we do it, that one comes down. We don't want to do it that way either. Let me turn this back off so I can get my... I'm trying to think about where we can put this single one that won't interfere.
Do you need some singles? I've got loads.
Hold on. Hold on. What do we got here? That's a 4. There's one of each there. What's there? Okay, so we can just take this off. We want a 2 for it right there, and then a 4 there, and then I have I don't want to dig through my inventory. I'm just looking for a single one I can.
Yeah, I've got a single.
Nope, hold on. It's just in my inventory. That's all. I was hoping I could see.
Okay.
I was hoping I could see one without having to dig through my inventory, but that should be the only thing that's in my inventory here, so that should be easy enough.
Oh, your ship is moving by itself.
Is it? That's never
It's
good.
going down.
Come on. Where did I leave it? Is it gonna crash into stuff?
It's going down.
It's
Did you leave
the auto,
avoidance on?
yeah, not the avoidance. There's an anti-drift thing it has, and when it goes in and out of when the YOLO turns on and off. It fixes itself eventually, but it's trying to go somewhere. But I thought I turned it off, but turn that off. Alright, now it's off. So what happens is if you get too far away with it, the YOLO turns off. And then when you get back, the YOLO turns back on and things happen.
Interesting.
Alright, so let's take a peek here where we were working. Alright. That's my mistake for leaving it on. Alright, so that can no longer switch. That can't switch. Those can't switch. Nothing here can switch, right? Nope. Alright, now let's peek here and see if there's anywhere along here that can switch. Don't see anything there. These are all 2s. That one can't switch with that. That one. These are 2s. There's a 1, but it can't switch. And then we need to peek underneath. So nothing switchable along the bottom here. Nope, it all pretty much looks good. Like, I don't know why that thruster disconnects. The fact that it's always the same one is weird, because the game kind of sees them as one big piece, the way you've got them set up.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I wonder if somehow...
I wonder if it's
shouldn't.
here because I've got 3 supports all together. Because I got obviously the support here holding up the,
Oh, the plates? Let me look
and then
underneath.
that one goes up to the framing holding the windows.
There's nothing there. My only thing is, if I would think that if something switched there as the thrusters, that they would all get disconnected and not just the one.
Yeah. It's
Which
very
one?
strange.
Which one did you say it was?
It is. Let me line up. It's this one here.
That
No,
one.
no,
No, just run, whichever way. That one.
this one.
Okay, that's the one that disconnects.
Yeah.
Is there anything on this conduit that changes? I'm wondering if the conduit loses something.
You'll see the fast travel machine and. Oh no, sorry, not that one. I'm in the wrong place. Sorry.
Oh, it's this
This
one.
one.
The with the fast travel machine.
Yeah, that one. That I'm
Okay.
pointing to. So it's this machine and that thruster.
Okay.
They're the only things that disconnect.
So these are, which is funny because that thruster is not touched by the fast travel machine, but this is the beam that we switched over there. Trying to see, is there any way that it has tried to join any of this stuff? Those are all lines across. I wonder if it has to do with this, if it has to do with the nozzles. Not just the thruster base, if it's one of these supports, since
Yeah.
you have 2 sets of supports too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And that middle one's kind of crazy. Let's look at that middle one and see what's so crazy about it. Why is it so crazy? So 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, and 4. You've got mixes of 2s and 4s here, which might be part of it.
Yeah, I had to do that because I was trying to fix it. It was not recognizing the 4s at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something and then we'll put it back. We'll put this back. We'll see how many of each we've got. We're gonna want a 2 on each end, that's for sure. Not that window, this window. 4, 2, alright. So we can do... I try to do them symmetrically. I don't know if it makes a difference, but they seem to be more stable that way. So if whatever pattern I do from one end, I'll do the same thing from the other end and try to make them meet in the middle. If that makes sense. So if I do 2 2s and then a bunch of 4s or whatever, I just split it. And it seems to make the lines more consistent. Let's see.
Okay.
See, now if we look at that, yep, there we go. Now it's pretty. I don't know why that makes a damn bit of difference. But if we do the same thing on the top, let's see what we get. Are these all 2s?
I think one of them I did today, I replaced it with all 2s. It was looking a bit weird.
We're trying to lighten the lines off. Oh, those lines are so hard to see through.
No.
Yeah, there's some 4s here. What do we end up with? 6 and 4. So we do 1, 2, 1, 2. We just do these right down the middle. 3, 4. Alright. There we go. Now we do these guys. And now when we bring this up, it should be pretty. Let that line adjust. Boom. There we go. Now that's nice and pretty. Does it
Excellent,
make a
fantastic.
difference? I don't know. All of my evidence is anecdotal, so I have no idea.
I'm pretty certain with everything you're finding now that Frozen Bite will find it useful.
Well, it
You
might be just
just-
it might just be the way they designed it. Like this might be the intended method of. All right.
In the PTU, they've done something to the beams, haven't they?
I have no
They
idea.
made it better.
I've not tried to build a capital in the PTU. I probably should. But it's a different build is the only reason I'm worried about doing a bunch of experimenting there.
Yeah.
So you've got long lines. I'm trying to ignore all those cross beams that you had to put in just for
I mean, I
to
can
hold
take
the.
those out and put
No.
put
It's not.
glass in.
It's not that. I'm just trying to figure out which ones are for framing and which ones are for just holding plates up. That's the biggest difference. Just trying to
Yeah.
make my eyes fixate on the important stuff. All right, so now all your thrusters and the nozzles are all supported, and I don't think I'm not going to take that. I'm going to take that back. We didn't. I should do that all the way around to the nozzles and to the second set of supports, so we can. So all I'm doing is taking them down, and then I'm putting them back up in the exact same, in a symmetrical pattern here. That way they can't switch. There's no switching centers. There's no. Oh, you had a single one on the bottom there. I didn't notice that. Oh. Alright, what do we got in our inventory? Nope, that was just doubles. So, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then these 4 of these across the middle. As long as I do it symmetrically, it should be more stable than willy-nilly. 4, 5. The first time I built my little ship, I just used whatever beams I had in my inventory, and it was all over the place, instead of attempting to be deliberate about which beams I used. And it made a difference, because it disconnected all the time when I first started.
You're definitely onto something, that's for sure.
I don't know.
It's,
I seriously have no idea.
because ever since you started this and I took your
those are
advice and everything like that, I've had no disconnects apart from that small issue.
Alright. Here's a weird question. Can I get one? I need. Is it. Hold on. That's 5 is 4 is 20. How many did I do here? I think there's what? 1, 2, 3. Alright. Can I get 5, 4? Or you can even stick them in. I don't even need them. But can you stick 5 of the 4 long ones here? Above your thrusters? Just 5 in a row starting on this end that I've done. So if you come up here to the actual thruster base, right? Yep, just start right there. And just stick 5 4x in a row. Behind you. Yep, just walk them backwards. And I'll meet you on the other end.
Oh, come on.
1, 2. That way the top and the bottom match. Where'd you go? There you go. Yep, just fill the gap with 4 long ones. And it shouldn't be able to overlap at all. That's a 5 gap. Oh no, that can be there, that's fine. Alright, now that, if you got those in, yep. Now we just need it to, We're still missing one here somewhere. In the middle, there's one missing.
Number 4 there, yeah?
Yep. Yep. Just there it goes. All right, now that should make it nice and there we go. Yep, that makes it like a box. Excellent. And now I just want to, oh, see something is different. Here, this is the only one I didn't do. The back nozzle switched while we were floating around.
Oh.
So that's kind of what happens is when I went through the first time, it looked fine, but I didn't mess with this one. This is the one I have not touched yet, and it switched just with us floating around. So we're gonna do the same thing where we do the top and the bottom the same way, and that should hopefully stop it. Alright, so we got, these are all 2s. But what do we have on the bottom? Two. Land, crouch. Did we just have 2s all the way across here? 2, 2, yep. And what do we have on the bottom? Can't be all 2s, otherwise it would match. Oh, now it does match. Then why is it switching? Alright, so these are all 2s? Oh, nope, there's a 4. Haha.
I think I've seen another 4 as well. Nope, that's a 2.
I mean, it can be 4s, just whatever you do on the bottom and the top, you want it to be the same. You could switch all these 2s out for 4s except for the end ones if you wanted, but as long as they're the same, it should be okay. Should be. See, it's not, I don't like that. I don't have any, I've only got 1 4.
Yeah, I'll give you some.
Well, just take some of these center ones out. Just put 4s in 1, 2, 3. Just fill that gap with 4s.
Right.
And fill this gap with 4s. And it should be fine.
Uh-oh, no, don't do that. No, the game seems to lock up briefly. It's not as bad as it was, but it just freezes and then...
Well, I think well, I think the reason it freezes, we've got so many, there's 2 of us, it's re-rendering this all the time now. Like it's trying to fix these lines all the time. Alright, and then we need to do the same thing on the top. We need to take out a bunch of these 2s and put in 4s. I hate when my gravity boots they fight you.
No.
You need them 1 second, and then you have to turn them off the next. It's just sometimes they're a help, and a lot of times they're an absolute nightmare to use. I like that you can stand in here though.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, if you need to take plates off to see, you can.
Nope, you can actually walk in that space. You're only the size of a 1x1 block, so you can just run across there inside the frame. So if you want to fill this full of 4s, that would be helpful. Where'd you go?
Yeah.
Yep, just drop down in here and run backwards. And then you run backwards and point at the end of them. There you go. I don't want to end up with an inventory full of your windows and plates and beams again. I had so many of your beams, it was crazy. You'll have to move one side or the other. There's your boots trying to kill you again.
Oh, I know. It's right.
All right, how's it look now? All right, perfect. It did for a second, and then I left the zone. All right, now those shouldn't be able to Oh, this middle one switched again.
Are you
See?
joking?
No, this middle one switched again. Well, it's mostly 2s. Is part of the problem. So let's, if we do the top the same way, it shouldn't be able to. 2s give too many intersections, too many places. It's twice as many places to switch, if that makes sense. So it can come up with a whole bunch of different. So if you take out all the 2s except for the end ones, and replace them all with 4s.
Okay, let me. Wait, I got to find it now.
What are you looking for?
Where the frame is. So
It's
I
right.
can get the plates off.
It's right here. Oh, it's this one. Yep. And then I'll give you your plates back because I don't want to end up with an inventory full of plates again. All right. Yeah. So if you turn my build mode. So there's some 4s in here. Let's see. What do we got? This one does have some 4s. But it's not the same as the bottom. I just used what was had. So if you put a 2 at the end, what are we looking at? And then to fill, a 2 at either end, and then fill the middles full of 4s is ideally what you want. What do we got here? We got a 2, yeah. So we've got 2s and 2s. So if we empty this here, like, where's the end? There. I was just trying to reuse it, but if it's going to be finicky, you gotta.
Yeah.
It shouldn't ever switch. That's kind of the key. Is that no matter how many times you re-render the ship, these should all stay the same. All right, that's my last 4. I think you need.
Do you need another one?
Looks like yeah, you need one more in that hole. If I can get out of here.
Okay.
Hold on. I just dropped that up. I just yanked the rug out from under your feet. You come up, I've got one in my inventory. Just come up out of there. There, bam. Alright, are you back to normal? So that's what it should look like, and it should never switch out of that. It should always look like whatever you want to call that shape. The 3 lines with the 2 ends kind of thing.
I'm wondering if it's the intersections I put in to support the plates causing an issue.
See, this back one is still doing
Because I
it.
could replace that with glass and just take the plates away.
I don't think it's the plates. Hold on. Like there's it's not. Damn. Let's see some. I just took that one out, yeah. I want to see something.
Okay.
So look at it. Why in the hell would it switch? It's coming up the center there. Do we need to push everything off? Oh, look at that. That's an interesting new pattern.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, do you have any singles?
I do.
Okay. So let's see.
Let
me see here. That's the end one, right? What do we got? That's a 2, that's a 2. I'm gonna try and push all these inners. Can you run in there and put a single in there?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's down.
That's down. And that should push. Alright, hold on. I have to pick all these up, otherwise it just won't work. We're gonna do the same thing on the other end. We're gonna do a 2 and then a single. Because I think these are with devices. They there's a put a single on this end. So devices can join either between the devices or in the middle of the device. Did you got a single there? Not yet.
Yeah.
That one there. Okay. Now I want to try some 4s. I stole some 4s. Here they are. All right. That should offset everything by like 1 block. And I'm praying that it offsets so they can't switch it all. 3, what are we looking at here? There should be a 2 right here. 2. Alright, now let me turn this back on. Let those all... Alright, now they're back to normal. That's kind of what I expect them to look like. I'm gonna main menu. And take a peek again. This is the part that's kind of... Oh, I'm already past my... I usually end before now, but...
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's not...
Yeah.
I'm a grown man. I could take my wife yelling at me. Alright, I get so wrapped up in this particular part of the game. Alright, now that's stable. So I think that's probably what we need to do, but I would keep your eyes on it. This is the shape that you want, right? So
Yeah.
if you log in and they're not like this, then you need to kind of reevaluate how they're laid out, because you don't want your devices switching shapes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
But I'd like to, maybe you've got things to do and I've got things to do, but I could spend all day here doing this.
Well, what I might do after you, well, as you say, gone to be an adult, is I'll remove all these cross beams and I'll put glass in there to see if that makes a difference in case it's trying to recognize those beams.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that could be cool. Sure.
That could be cool too. You and your glass. You love the glass. All right. Well,
But the
go ahead.
glass has a connector and it covers the beam, so
Yep.
it's
Yeah, just like it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Yep. So those look okay. I'm trying to cram my face against something so that I black out everything but the lines. So we cleaned up those 3. If they stay, my biggest thing is, do they stay? I don't know why that one kept switching. But what I was trying to explain was if you come down here, let's look at the back here. So if you look at these green lines of just these thrusters, just between these 2 thrusters, you'll see a thruster can generate the green line at the seam between 2 thrusters, or it can generate it in the center of the thruster thingy. So if you have a 4 beam sitting directly on top of it, it tends to go through the center of the thruster. If you have a 2 splitting 2 thrusters, it tends to go up through the seam between the thrusters. So it's kind of by putting a 1 on the end, we've kind of shifted all of the 4 ones over, so they're not in line with they're no longer in line with the centers of the thrusters, and there can't be a line that goes up from the middle of the thruster. So we've eliminated a connection point, a place for it to switch by shoving both ends in 1 block. We've offset everything by 1.
interesting.
So it's weird stuff like that keeps things from being able to switch.
Right, interesting. I'll remember that now.
Yeah, so it's a thruster, and most devices have the opportunity to put one of these green lines either from the center of the device or from the seam between 2 devices, and it all depends on the beam above those 2 points. So if you have if you have a seam directly above the center of the device, between a connection point, whether it's a seam between 2 beams or it's the center point of a beam, it can connect to it. But I think we've shoved them over, but we didn't do that on all the rest of them, so they still may switch. We may have to put a single and then. So this is the top of this last one. I think is going to be your guide, where it's a 2 and then a 1 and then 4s, and then you end up with a 2 and a 1. I think you have to do, there's a 2 in the middle here somewhere to make it fit, but So what I end up doing is I work from both ends. Instead of one end across, you work from both ends towards the middle. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
So yeah, right in the center of this, you're gonna find a single two beam, because that's just how math works. But so, all right, I'm gonna get on my ship, and then I'm gonna go and log out, and I'm gonna say thank you for everybody for stopping in. Thank you for watching today. I know today was a little bit boring, but not all of Starbase's exciting stuff. Some of it's just gathering materials and fixing problems. But I'm looking forward to setting up the framing on the big capital ship and essentially avoiding all of these issues as we go. I've got quite a... But I want to look at... If you guys have capital ships that are broken, I'd love to see it, or capital ships that break regularly, because I want to see if we can figure out what the best way to fix those issues is. Maybe we'll have a better understanding of how capital ships work. Thank you for your time, Django.
You're welcome. No, thank you for.
I'm always appreciative of you guys letting me. Hold on, I'm stealing a whole bunch of your beams again. Well,
That's okay. That's okay.
I'll give them back because I can't take them with me, so they're just. I've got a bunch of 2x.
I've got 700 in storage now already.
So thanks everybody for stopping. I'm gonna log out as soon as I can get this thing put away. So you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you again on Monday. For Monday for sure. I will try and squeak some time in over the weekend, but I make no promises. If I do anything this weekend, it's just going to be working on the big capital ship, plating and sorting that nonsense out. So
Well, hopefully, I'm going to buy the Bandit and get that built, and I can take the blueprint to.
Oh, the Bandit, yeah, the Bandit's fun. You just need the blueprint, and then you can just take it to the PTU. You'll have to get. You'll have to ask Kai on the Discord for some Onium, because it takes Onium to build it, and the only place to get it is from Kai on the PTU. So you just on the Discord, there's a PTU channel, and you just ask him to send you some Onium, and he'll give it. He'll get it to you.
Yeah, I don't think Kai's too happy with me at the moment.
No?
Because of me asking for ships to be returned too many times.
Well, I also have a ton of Onium. I can just give it to you, so I will.
I know. I'll ask him first. And then...
You're that guy.
he made me go to. I'm at Origin 3. He made me go to 19 to get the ship.
So, all right. You guys all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you on Monday, if not sooner. Take it easy. Take care, and have a great night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.